Hey everyone, let's stick with us versus herd. If it's your first time here and you want to join the UVH fam, our community, links are below in the description to our Discord and our options trading group on Facebook. So let's get into it today. The bulls just couldn't hold on. S&P and Dow closed down the day. However, NASDAQ was able to hold on. I personally closed up on the day about $130 in realized gains. However, I got smacked around a little bit in Apple and CRM being my, biggest losers on the day. Now, Apple is a new position, so I'm going to go through that in a second, but I want to go through kind of what the catalyst I'm looking for into tomorrow and what I have set up and how it correlates with my portfolio. Now, if you made money today, comment below, got paid. If you lost money today, comment below, learned a lesson. Let me know what stocks you're looking at going into tomorrow in the comments below. And if you could do me a big favor, hit the like button. I definitely appreciate it. So before we get into the P&L, to my positions here, what I am looking for on SPY right now we're kind of holding this gap up. Today it came down, it got rejected at 370 area, came back down to 364 where we've been kind of leveling out. So over the past 10 trading sessions or so, we've been kind of coming back to the 364 level. We are now under the 10-day moving average. So I'm kind of seeing what it's going to be this week. Like what are we going to be set up for? And a couple of catalysts right now. Biden was just announced the winner of the 2020 presidential election. So we have that going on. I mean, I think that's obviously was already priced in, but it's definitely going to be interesting to see how the market reacts to this, knowing that, for sure, Trump's days are numbered in terms of how many more days he's going to be in the White House. So now that this was solidified, it's going to be rather interesting. Also, kind of coming up here in a couple days and starting tomorrow, the Fed is going to be getting its 2-day meeting. The Fed is going to be announcing on Wednesday its interest rates. They're predicted to be the same, but you don't know. I mean, maybe they're going to be higher, maybe they're going to be lower, but obviously it's predicted, the market's pricing in that they're not going to raise rates or lower rates. And they're Wednesday, we're going to have the Jerome Powell press conference. So right now, kind of how that is kind of pricing things in. I mean, volatility was pushing a little bit higher throughout the day. VIX and VXX were all climbing. And then on top of that, by Friday, there's going to be a rebalancing of the S&P. Tesla's going to be added. And historically, they're saying that the volume is likely going to be up on Friday because there's going to be a rebalancing of the major of the S&P 500. So it's 1 of 4 days a year it does so. Friday's rebalance will likely see record levels of trading activity at the close due to Tesla's addition to the S&P 500. So that's kind of what I'm keeping in mind here right now, and just kind of going low and slow. Now in Apple, I entered the 122 calls for next week expiration. What I was looking here at on Apple was, it was kind of testing the bottom of the range, and I probably put this trade on a little bit too early. Because Apple, I bought the 122 calls for next week expiration. I was hoping that we were going to get a push up today, but we did not. So I'm currently down 24% on this trade right now. I have 5 calls at the 122, down 390, but with a delta of 255, I only needed to move up about $1.50 to be break even. I was hoping that we could push to the top of this range today, but it just didn't happen. I was hoping that Apple was going to push to like 124.90 area, but it just couldn't do it. Kind of zooming out over the last few trading sessions, we've come down from 125.95 all the way down to 120, and then we've been kind of coasting up the last few days, and then we had a gap up today on the vaccine news. Vaccines came rolling out. But on top of today, we also had 300,000 COVID deaths as well on the same day that the vaccines are starting to be rolled out. So, I'm not sure kind of what led the market overall to give up its gains. We did have the indexes were rolling over their futures into March. So, things are kind of a little bit weird. So I didn't really take things too seriously today. Just kind of put a couple day trades on, threw a couple trades on, and, kind of saw what happens, but definitely probably should have taken the trade off when it laid down and then bought back into close if I wanted to be long. Now, AMD, Made a little bit of money in AMD today. And what I liked about AMD is, well, one thing I didn't know this, but Goldman Sachs just upgraded AMD after hours today. And AMD, you know, I like the 2 days of consolidation. You know, I bought in over here when it was like 91. I did sell today, you know, made a little bit of money, but nothing huge. And I do think this is going to be making another run up into like, you know, 97, 98 area. It's probably going to try to push all-time highs tomorrow if the market is going to cooperate. And when I say if the market's going to cooperate, because I don't know if we're going to gap up or gap down and what the market's going to do, but AMD all day long, I am watching it for day trades tomorrow. AMD has been paying out over the last few weeks in terms of, you know, that bounce off of 90 when it goes sub 90, I've been getting in, been making some money. So it's been very consistent for the day trades. CRM is another stock right now that I am in. And, you know, CRM is like holding on for dear life for 220. It's just hanging on. What I have in CRM and where I lost, you know, the second amount, right behind Apple, where I lost $150 on the day. You know, this is an earnings trade, basically is max loss. I'm short the 245, long the 235 put. But I'm also selling premium right in here. I'm short the 220 put, long the 210 put, currently up about $40 on that position. I'm in January, so I'm selling premium here. I got a little bit more than a $4 credit for this. But where I lost the most money today was right here on this CRM call. So I'm also in the 220 CRM call, and CRM, this cost me $128 out of this $152. So lost $128. This position here is down. This call is down $118, which is 10%. So not huge. You know, we could easily recover that, and I still believe in this trade. I still think that we're going to approach, but it was kind of crazy today. You know, we opened up near 224 on CRM, and it just gave the whole thing off. But I really do like this healthy consolidation. I'm a sucker for buying into this healthy consolidation here. I really like that it's just holding on to 220, even though, you know, it's chopping. Theta's kind of eating a little bit, but, you know, I'm over 30 days on these positions, so I feel like, you know, it's going to make a good push. Now, FedEx, I did get in today, and what I did on FedEx is this was a pre-earnings play. Now, what I wanted to do with FedEx is get in for a pre-earnings run. I noticed today that on FedEx, it was kind of moving down. I put the position around right around 290. Was right in here because I thought we were going to have a push back up. That was not the case. So that's why I'm currently down $49 on this position. So I have a debit call spread on this. The reason why I put a debit call spread on this is because I think that implied volatility is going to expand the closer we get. Now we have earnings on December 17th for FedEx, and I'm in next week expiration. It was a little bit on the cheap side. So this is what my position currently looks like. I'm long the 300, short the 310. This cost me $3.16 max profit, you know, $10 wide spread. Let's just call it $700, you know. So max profit, $700. I think my delta right in here is about 10. It's at 9. So for every dollar this goes up, I'll make $10, but it moved down. So we're down 49. But I think that implied volatility is going to increase the closer that we get to earnings. So this was a pre-earnings play. I thought it was relatively low risk on FedEx is why I went into here. And as you can see here, you know, on the 1 year chart, we're heading lower after hitting 305. You know, did gap up, hit 296, but came straight down to 285. So if it doesn't hold on here, I definitely think that we're going to have a retest of the 50-day, which is the 278 right here. So that was what I'm looking at here. Lululemon, I made a little bit of money on today, made a little bit back. Now I'm in the 350 call. Expires this week. Now this position is not for the faint of heart. I put this on last week, and you're like, man, why are you still holding on to this thing? Why are you still holding on to it? And this is the reason why. So I'm currently down to 163. I made back 156. So on Friday, I was down over $300. And this thing sold off hard this morning, Lululemon. But this is why I'm keeping it just one more day, just to kind of see what happens. I mean, this came down to 337. I saw, like, look at the call that I'm in right now. This call, I probably should have averaged it down and got out. But here's the situation. This morning, this call went from 264 back up to $8. right? So I probably should have bought 2 more at 264, average down, but you know, it just happened so quick. I mean, this is the 1 minute chart, and you can see here in the 5 minute chart, the first 5 minutes, it went down to 337. 5 minutes later, it's back up to 344, and we're back above 350. So by the time I thought about it, it's like we're already back up. You know, it's already costing $6-7 for the trade, and I'm not really down that much. But this thing really got flushed. And what I'm looking at on Lululemon is it went under the 50-day moving average today. As you can see here, look, the day that it had earnings, or the day after it had earnings, I guess. It went right under the 50-day moving average, came back, closed right at the 50-day moving average. Today, we went under the 50-day moving average and closed again right at the 50-day moving average. And well, actually, we closed at 352. The low where this candle's closed, or where we opened at was where this candle opened at was right at the 50-day moving average. We moved below and we closed at 352. So I think that we're gonna have I think that we're gonna have a push to 360. I mean, at least that's what I think. If not, I'll take this position off tomorrow. I'll lick my wounds and it'll be what it is, and you know, we'll go on and it'll probably go up because I didn't have enough time. I made the mistake of not buying out far enough. You know, I only gave myself a few days, and today and this week, you know, it's definitely a hard week. So after we got the move up, you know, came back to where it's been consolidating. If we zoom out here a little bit, you know, it's consolidating right in here. So I definitely think that, you know, today it hit 355 almost. I think it's going to push to 360, 365 area, which is why I held it. You know, theta right now, as long as it doesn't go any lower, you know, theta on this baby is only 58. So if we move up we're going to have to move up $3. Actually, we're going to have to move up $4 to be back to zero. So I'm going to be at like 356 to get back to break even and wipe out theta for the day. So we'll kind of see what happens. So tomorrow, once you get into Wednesday, it's going to be a bit risky. I mean, you know, Lululemon could definitely run. You know, we'll see what happens. NIO was a pretty wild stock here as well. I had a couple of day trades in here. I was buying the 39.5 call and the 40 call. You know, if I held on to it, would have made a little bit more money. But you know, NIO, they had an offering at $39 a share. You know, but there was really nice strength today. If we zoom in on NIO, you know, right below 40, you know, got bought up a couple times. You know, right at open, got bought up, came back below, got bought up, and it closed at 40.98. So I'm currently I'm holding a 42 call for December 31st expiration to see if we can get a push back up to like the 43 to 45 range on this is where I'm looking at. And right now, kind of just holding it right now, mostly swing trading. I'm doing a few day trading, but mostly just kind of swing trading into the end of the year and just kind of taking it easy because as you can see, the market is moving a little bit on the slow side, you know. So just be mindful, you know, volatility was increasing today, you know, VIX back up to 24, VXX back above 18, you know, we're with volatility going up. Hopefully we get some more price movement. You know, I'm leaning more towards the upside, but hey, we could get some down movements too. So if you watch this video to the end, comment watch to the end, and as always, stay safe, stay green. It's us versus herd.